What's new in the federal impact assessment process? The way that the major projects are reviewed in Canada is changing. There are new requirements, new opportunities. As Indigenous peoples, when a major project is proposed in our territories, our successful involvement in the new impact assessment process is a major factor in determining our ability to reap the most benefit, to influence how a project is designed, and what measures are required to protect the environment, our rights, and values. What is an impact assessment? Impact assessment is a structured process aimed at understanding how a proposed major project may impact people and the environment. Importantly, it's a process that Indigenous people can use to raise concerns about a project's planning stages in order to maximize the potential benefits while reducing the potential risks and impacts. What's new? The old federal impact process didn't have mandatory requirements for the proponents of these projects to consider Indigenous knowledge and perspectives on how a project may directly affect an Indigenous nation's rights and well-being.
Once projects go through our territory, if the impact assessment process does not allow for protection, it's the people that are left back at home that end up dealing with the land and the issues surrounding it. For instance, our caribou population in our area has completely disappeared because of the flooding of our lands by a major corporation. So it's those historical impacts that affect us today, and it's going to affect our children and our grandchildren and many generations after that.
The new federal impact assessment process has been redesigned to give Indigenous nations a greater role over whether a major project should be built, and if so, how it should be built to benefit the nations themselves, while protecting the environment and rights for future generations. But with new opportunities comes new challenges. Impact assessment is still a highly technical process with tough timelines and funding limitations. Effective involvement in impact assessment requires proactive steps to ensure you have a meaningful role. If your nation wants to reap the most benefits from a major project, as well as avoid or reduce impacts on your nation, you need to be involved.
My mom used to say that we were the queens of the cumulative effects. And it's not that funny. We tend to laugh about it. We laugh about our hurts. We're best at it. But when you see a community leave and you see a community die because of a cumulative effect, it becomes unfair. That's why I'm always a pro environmental assessment. Make sure you're involved. Ensure that you're at the table. If that referral letter comes in, get on it. Ensure that you're up there. Because if you ignore one letter, that project has got away.
You have to be at the table to be a part of the conversation. And these interests are of the utmost importance to our members, to their community members, to ensure that the community has a voice on issues relating to impacts to the land base, how governments interact with them through the regulatory processes, and what they expect from proponents. So that early engagement piece is key in shaping the overall outcomes of environmental regulatory processes. If you're not at the table, you're missing out.
With a stronger role for Indigenous nations, there's an opportunity for our people to make impact assessment into something better that works to protect everyone, including future generations.
When I'm looking at a project, I'm thinking about my grandkids. How are they going to look at this? Are they going to look at the project and say, what was Grandma thinking? Or are they going to look at the project, holy, she did it right. She not only looked at the environment, she not only looked at the birds, she not only looked at the fur-bearing animals, she not only took a picture of what the air quality is going to look like, but she ensured that the water and we, as the First Nations, were involved. She thought far ahead of us so that we can sit there and be fulfilled in our lifetime.
For more information, go to our website where you can watch more videos in this series and download the Coalition's new guide to effective Indigenous involvement in federal impact assessment. Please feel free to contact us at any time. The Coalition is here to help.